thought about calling this a natty or not, but it's so extremely obvious that this guy, he's 100% natural that I thought, why even bother? I'm being sarcastic. Did you see the size of this guy? 5'11", 240 pounds, and lean. Guy has a six-pack, wide shoulders, a smaller waist, flaring thighs, has a great physique, destined to be an IFBB pro. And it's as no surprise to me as this guy has extremely gifted genetics. He was a former gymnast, high level, which transitioned him into becoming a diver. The guy was twisted, turned his body around, and already at an early age as a teenager, had a ton of muscle. By the age of 17, you could clearly see how great this guy's genetics really were. He had more muscle than last time, but what saddened me is he decided to take performance-enhancing drugs. And based on his current size and the side effects that are clearly visible, I do believe he's on high doses. He reminds me of the Tren twins, only this time he's actually taking Tren. Remember, the Tren twins are called the Tren twins and they do crazy things, but they don't actually take Tren and they're not on abusive cycles. In comparison, I don't think this guy is playing it safe. I could be wrong, but based on the severe acne on the chest, the shoulders, the arms, everywhere, I think he's in danger. You see the visual changes in his face. He does not look like a healthy young man, only 21 years of age. And I would hate to see that this guy continues on this journey and perhaps ends up in the same situation as someone like Dallas McCarver, Boston Lloyd, and all the other famous bodybuilders we have lost as of late. So impressive was the physique that he was immediately offered a sponsorship by Hostile by Fouad Abiab upon seeing him go through the poses. As you can see these poses, the guy has a lot of muscle in all places. He has the genetics to go very far in the IFBB. Not only does he have a lot of muscle, he does not carry a significant amount of body fat, which means if he were to go on a diet, it wouldn't be that hard. One of the hardest parts of bodybuilding is getting into mind-blowing shredded condition, 5% body fat. The Tren twins clearly getting lean enough is what's holding them back, but this guy, he I think can do it. And his rise to fame came on TikTok. Remember, I'm not a fan of TikTok. I was banned on TikTok. And to me, TikTok is the place where the more bullshit you spew, the better you're gonna do. Did that rhyme? And so he's had a ton of muscle for a very long time, but for some reason, the algorithm, it wasn't playing favors for him. But suddenly, he grew faster than freaking last time. So fast that he's in fact going viral now on YouTube. Guy's gained almost 200,000 followers in the last 30 days and now approaching 400,000 followers. That's a lot, and so he's destined to get to 1 million plus. People, the younger generation, love seeing people their own age. 21, that's generally a great age for most YouTube viewers. And so people can't wait, are glued to what he's going to say next. And I do believe this guy is very intelligent. He speaks eloquently. He seems to know what he's saying, but that is not what captures the audience's attention. Rather than putting out valid content that would help the audience, he chooses to do the opposite. And for him, that is a smart, intelligent business maneuver. Give the people what they want. And what they want is a bunch of BS. And so, case in point, advice from small lifters will turn you into one. Advice from small lifters will turn you into one. Great. Please start ego lifting. Obviously, you have to know that this is a joke. There is no way that a guy at 21 years of age with this kind of muscle that believes that you should just be ego lifting in the gym. That you should be lifting heavier weights than you should with improper lifting technique. But he makes that video and it goes viral. And so what does he do next? He continues to spew the nonsense. And so think of it. Does it not make sense for him to continue to spew nonsense? After all, it's giving him the likes, the views, the attention, and later on the subscribers, which leads to a hostile contract. And so can you blame him? The only thing is, what damage does that do to the younger audience? And so you look to his thread on Sublet, and his fans, they can't get enough. They want to emulate this guy. They want to do everything exactly as he does. Does anyone know which Adidas hat some said it wears? What is the orange-blue juice that Sam drinks while lifting? Anyone know what hat Sam wears? Sam's sweatpants. How do I get Sam's hair? Everything Sam's, including Sam Sulek cycle. And so the fans, they like him so much, perhaps it's subliminally because he looks a lot like Carrot Top. You know that guy, comedian, lifted weights. And so they want to do everything that he does, perhaps to look like him. And so what cycle is he doing? And so they go to TikTok, perhaps YouTube, Instagram, and so on, and they see the messages that he's spewing. Advice from small lifters turns you into one. Really? And so perhaps the small lifters aren't on steroids. And so if you take the scientific advice from a shorter guy like Jeff Nippert at about 5'4" tall, do you really think that that's bad advice? Just because Jeff is short, small, doesn't mean his advice doesn't make any sense. In fact, his advice is amazing. And so why should you not listen to him? Just because Jeff's natural? Well, perhaps if Jeff were on a bunch of PEDs, he'd be over 200 pounds. And so it makes no sense to me for somebody who's tall, 5'11" on steroids, to make fun of people who are shorter and perhaps not as big as him. Does not mean they do not know what they're talking about. And Sam Sulek really reminds me of a younger competitor from back in the day. Name was Cody Montgomery. He won everything. Teenage USA champion year after year. The guy had extremely gifted genetics, size, shape, shreds, everything. And what happened? Well, nothing. He burnt out. He got his IFBB Pro card, did not go on to be a successful competitor. Perhaps it was the steroid abuse. It affected him mentally and physically, but he did not live up to his potential. And so if this could happen to Cody Montgomery and others, then perhaps it could happen to Sam, and I would hate to see him go that route. And so the problem now is people have no patience. They want to be the youngest IFBB Pro of all time. They want to be in the Mr. Olympia right now. They don't want to work years for it. They want it faster than last time. You have guys like Chris Bumstead, who admitted to taking performance-enhancing drugs at 18, becomes the best bodybuilder in the world, 4-time Mr. Olympia champion by the age of 27, most followers of any bodybuilding champion, and so no wonder a young man like Sam Sulek follows in his footsteps. And so imagine, 21 years of age, already severe acne, probably on abusive doses of performance-enhancing drugs. But in comparison, had he stayed natural, does anyone think he wouldn't have an amazing physique? And so my advice is to stay natural longer than freaking last time. You're 17, 18, 19 years of age. You don't need steroids. Simple rules for growth. Avoid women and small lifters' advice. Now, I don't know if he's talking about the downstairs, but for me, women, that is what helps it. Now, if you're talking about growth of the downstairs, you could always take harder than last time, as in for the bedroom. Interested in that? Click the link in the description, code Greg, 10% off. Now, as far as avoiding women, I don't know how interacting with a female can slow down your gains. I am not aware of any studies that show that being around females decreases testosterone levels. But if it does, which I don't think it does, and you have lower testosterone levels, you could of course take 3 tests. Rather than going to taking steroids, HRT, and so on, you could always start with 3 tests. Try to do it 100% natural first. Remember, code Greg, 10% off. Click the link in the description. And as far as I know, Hani Rambod, who coached Mr. Olympia champion Chris Bumstead, as well as Hadi Rambod and Derek Lunsford, I think he knows what he's talking about, and he's a rather small lifter. And so clearly, he's making a joke. There's no way he actually believes this. Perhaps Fuad still believes this way. Remember, me and Fuad had a beef back in the day. He was saying, why would you listen to Coach Greg? He's a smaller lifter. He's a 212 competitor. I'm an open bodybuilder. And so we all know you can't judge someone's advice by how tall they are or how big they are on the bodybuilding platform. The smallest ego lifter dwarfs the largest science-based lifter. I mean, obviously he's joking at this point, but he's a smart guy. He saw the algorithm enjoying the fact that he said that you should ego lift, that that's the way you should do it, and he rolled with it. He kept putting out those videos, similar to when I started to post natty or nots and they were going viral, and I said, I'm going to put out more natty or nots because that is what the people want.
And then rear delts, hugely neglected muscle. Pretty much my go-to are going to be reverse pec deck, face pulls, and bent over lateral raises.
And so he's an intelligent guy who knows that by putting out controversial videos that don't make any sense, that only an idiot would believe, that he's going to get more views. What are my overall opinion of this guy? Well, I'll summarize it like this. I think he's very intelligent. I think he has an amazing physique. And I think that he's going to die an early death because he's abusing performance-enhancing drugs. Sorry, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Do you really think it's safe to take performance-enhancing drugs at an early age and go on to becoming a Mr. Olympia competitor and have no long-term side effects? Really? You all think that? Raise your hand. I want to see them. Does anyone out there, you looking at this video right now, think that you can become an open class Mr. Olympia champion and not do any damage to your health? And so although he has an amazing physique, he's charismatic, he's a great speaker, I do think you shouldn't follow his advice. His advice is controversial. I do believe he's doing this because it plays in his favor for the algo. And so please, Sam, be cautious, more cautious clearly than last time. Use the lowest doses possible. Go seek out medical attention. Ensure that you're telling your doctor everything you're doing. And of course, never ever break the law. And so let me know what you think about this guy. Is he destined to become an IFBB pro? Will he be seeing him on the Mr. Olympia stage? Or will we be making videos on how his health has failed in the recent future? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo, like this video if you liked it. Like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to watch one of the two bloops over there. And don't forget to buy the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, that Circle diet book, and of course, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. And take a look at all that's going on here. These are just a sample of some of the products that I sell. And don't forget about the free training program, close to 50 pages, first and last name and email address. That's all you need to do. Head over to my website right now, code Greg, 10% off for all this. And until next time, I am out.